Creatine, the supplement loved by bodybuilder bros, is now for the girlies. All over social media, I'm seeing wellness girlies to scientific researchers promoting the benefits of creatine specifically for women. To see if it's worth your time and money, I've done all the research for you to distill the benefits, how, when, and what type to take, debunk the myths, and solve some of the most concerning questions women have about creatine, aka bloating and weight gain. We're gonna look into some brands that are taking over social media, Array, and I'm gonna test them for 30 days. Let's go.
Look what happened to my face. Oh my God.
Now, why am I doing this? Number one, it is one of the most studied supplements out there. Two, I actually did take it way back in the day. I'm talking like 10 years ago when my entire focus was just growing the world's biggest butt. Which, yeah, if you guys see my genetics. Yep, nope. But now I'm focused on other things, and I'm kind of sad that back in the time, all I cared about was muscle growth, so I didn't actually monitor any other of the benefits that could potentially happen. For example, boost performance, strength gains, improve recovery, increase lean body mass, boost energy, improve cognitive function. If you watch my 2024 videos, you'll know stress management and recovery has been a really big focus of mine. Classic type A individual. Recovery isn't my strong suit. And I'm hoping creatine is just another thing in my toolkit I can use that helps me mentally, physically, de-stress, improve recovery, and just overall have more energy. And yeah, let's see what happens. Day number 1. Okay, I just finished a workout and got to the office. Oh no, the scoop isn't at the top. No. Here's my little method. You just kind of, without dunking your hand, just rotate it till it appears. Come on. Come on. Come on, don't do this to me. Oh, I think I saw something. Oh, no. I gotta perform surgery. One moment. There we go. Victory! And now I'm gonna have a scoop of it. One of the benefits of creatine is its boost energy for workouts. How creatine works is it boosts ATP production, which your muscles use to power movement. So, taste test. No flavor. Just kidding. Anticlimactic. Talk to you on day 2. Day number 2, little tip. I decided to take this with me at work and put it right in front of my desk to remind me to take it, because I won't lie, whenever I start a new supplement, if it's just like in my supplement cabinet, I won't remember. I need to build a habit, so I'm just taking it at work right now. That was bad advertising. I could barely open my water bottle. Day 3, I'm noticing no results. No bloating, no nothing. Like, I'm just feeling good. Day 4, when I'm taking in the day has just been naturally been around breakfast time. That's when it's really sinking in. And kind of think of creatine as more of like a birth control. You're just trying to saturate your muscles. It's like birth control in the sense of you just need it in your system versus something like caffeine you take 30 minutes before to hype you up. So the time of day is most important when you remember to take it. And day 7, going into my rest day. And guys, I'm feeling good. Dare I say I didn't need to take the rest day. I should, I still will, but like I just felt energized, like good, balanced. Now let's go into the nitty gritty about how much to take. From Dr. Darren Kando. Darren is a professor and director of the Aging, Muscle and Bone Health Laboratory in the Faculty of Kinesiology and Health Studies at the University of Regina in Canada. Oh, Canada! Who is the main resource and some other medical professionals I will quote later. The amount he recommends is 3 grams a day is a great place for women to start, and you can slowly up 3.5, 4, 5 grams. And this is how to reduce bloating. That is one of the biggest things, and the reason that stops a lot of women from wanting to take creatine is the fear of bloating. We'll talk about weight gain later on, but a great way to diminish this is like you ideally want to get up to 5 grams a day at least, but just start with 2, 3. Do that for a couple of days, then increase it. And you can split it up throughout the day because a lot of discomfort can just be so much at once. So have 1 gram at breakfast, 1 gram at lunch, and just like sprinkle it in. Timing he recommends, morning is fine, afternoon is fine. Do you need to cycle? That was a big thing in the bodybuilding world is like cycling. You do this mass dose and then you lower it. There doesn't seem to be any real benefits. You just kind of have to get it in your system. And once it's in your system, it lasts there for quite a few days. So if you've been taking it for 30 days and then you go on vacation, it is in your system for for quite a bit of time. So you don't necessarily have to take creatine if you're just going on a week vacation if you've been consistently taking it. Now, in terms of what creatine he recommends, make sure it is monohydrate. That is closest to what our body naturally produces, and always make sure to have it third-party testing. Now, this is really important because one of the things that also causes bloating and the bad side effects with creatine is filler. Crappy ingredients in it, because the supplement industry is a whole topic in itself, and pretty much because it's not a food product, you don't like 100% have to say what's in it. It's confusing. Just know that's why you need something third-party tested. I always go for NSF certification because then it is tested enough that professional athletes can take it, so there's no cross-contamination. What is in the bottle is what's in it. And so if you're going to do creatine, get a high-quality one. Otherwise, it can be really upsetting on your stomach. And the brand I chose for this was Momentous. They have sponsored a video in the past, but they haven't for a long time, which does make me sad because I genuinely love it. I was like, okay, I won't take it personally. I took it personally. But I do love the product and I buy it myself. I tried to use my own code. It was no longer there. Another brand I'd recommend is Thorne, which both have NSF certification, and I love both brands. Day 8, I want to talk about my friend Amy's results. My best friend actually started creatine as well, and she's actually started a few weeks ahead of me. We decided to do it together. She started ahead of me because I was doing challenges that I thought I might contradict it, but I thought I'd share some of the results she's getting because they're super interesting. The results she's seen so far, she's feeling stronger in the gym and her muscles are appearing fuller. She's just having really good energy, and the most intriguing thing for me is her PMS symptoms seemed a lot less severe on this cycle for her, which I find so fascinating. I haven't had my cycle yet while taking creatine, and I'm pretty lucky I don't really have too severe of symptoms, but that is so fascinating. It is for the girlies. Everyone's out here thinking creatine's for the bodybuilding bros. I'm like, no, it's for the girls. It's for our PMS, it's for our brain, for the booty looking pumps. Creatine. You're that girl. Is that girl. Day 9, we're going into week number 2, and my current split is about 3 workouts a week. I kind of do a push-pull day and then a full body day in terms of weights. I'm not doing any Pilates or anything like that right now because I'm in northern Sweden and we don't have anything like that. And then just trying to do a couple sessions of cardio. The pump today? It could be my dinner last night, but on the weekend, I love to go for a hot girl walk, which I say is a hike, but as my family is hikers, it definitely isn't. And then a recovery day. So let's talk some more benefits of creatine. 1, the second benefit of creatine is muscle performance. Creatine helps improve exercise and sports performance by increasing muscle creatine levels. 2, muscle growth and strength. Creatine has about 10 to 12 mechanism steps that may improve muscle mass, strength, endurance, and recovery. But this is not a steroid. It's not going to allow you to go above your genetic limits. That's one of the difference. Like steroids are going to allow you to go way past this. It's just going to help you optimize to get there faster and more efficiently. And speaking of hot girl walks, which I do mainly for my mental health, let's talk some of the mental health, not just physical benefits. First, we need to know exercise versus the mind. 1, you need to be at least walking or working out. It seems not to have any benefits if you're not doing exercise in terms of your neck down. So if you're someone who's sedentary and you want physical benefits, if you're not at least going to walk or work out, there doesn't seem to be many benefits. But there is some for the neck up in your brain. Above the neck, aka your mind, we need longer term and larger dosages. About 4 grams a day for a few months to 20 grams a day for shorter term to really get the brain benefits due to the blood-brain barrier. Muscles love sucking it up versus the brain, so they're going to suck it up first. There's brain benefits for healthy people. However, those with concussions, depression, anxiety, and other brain issues usually have a creatine issue in their brain already, so that's why there's a benefit. There is theories for like MS and Alzheimer's. Like it makes sense, the science behind creatine, that it would help, but there's been no studies that directly correlate it. So it's kind of like, hopefully it makes sense it would, but we can't directly say creatine helps MS or Alzheimer's. Halfway through this, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good physically, but let's talk cognitively. Day 15, I'm trying to learn Swedish. Say hey, 5 minuter. And I'm going to be honest, if I have one subject I really struggle, it's languages. Math, sciences, all that good music, good language is so hard for me, so I need a lot of cognitive ability to learn a second language. Also, I'm an adult now, and this frontal cortex is formed. Dang. And I like to think this will make me smarter, but it's more of a combats decline in cognitive processing associated with aging versus just making you smarter, which is benefit number 2, mood and memory for women. It improves mood and memory due to our natural lower levels of creatine versus men. Benefit number 3, creatine is potentially beneficial for our mental health. And benefit number 4, brain function. Creatine may help with neurological function, including anxiety, depression, and concussion recovery, and may help those experiencing sleep deprivation. So here is a direct quote quote from Dr. Lin. Taking creatine supplementation can also help with tasks involving the frontal cortex, such as learning, memory, and attention, according to Nutrients Report. It can help reduce mental fatigue in healthy adults. Similar to how it can help mitigate age-related loss of muscle mass, a combination of creatine supplementation and physical activities is one of the most effective ways to combat decline in cognitive processing associated with aging. So from my understanding with all this is people who have things like concussions and some brain injuries, why it could help is because they have a creatine issue already, so that could be a benefit. Then also it can help with longer term things. So it's less of a healthy individual. Short term, it's gonna make you smarter for a test, and it's a bit more of like long-term health and wellness, which ain't sexy. There's no quick before and after with that. It did not make me learn Swedish instantly. That sucks. First Swedish lesson done. After about 2 weeks of creatine, I'm feeling good. I haven't noticed any significant bloating or anything like that. If anything, I'm just suddenly having good energy. I was sick in January, so I'm also coming back from that. So naturally I'll have more energy because I'm just not fighting a virus in me. But halfway through, and I have no complaints from creatine. I've really started with like slow, like 3/4 gram twice a day. So really 1.5 grams. And so I'm at about just over 2 grams a day. This week, move up to 3 grams. And hopefully by the end of the month, be working my way up to 5 grams. And I've just been sprinkling it in things. My one friend was telling me that creatine is not as effective if it sits in water. I'm not sure. I need to look into this and I'll let you guys know. But I'm re-establishing my plan now. Before I was just dumping it in my water and drinking it. And now I'm just going to dump it in a little bit of water and chug it right away instead of it just sitting in my water bottle. AKA the opposite of what I just did. Going into week 3 of workouts with it, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling the pump. That's the biggest thing. I've seen no bloating. I've seen no water retention. There was odd times where I took a bit more or my tummy felt like a little funky, but I haven't felt any water retention. But I was like, my muscles feel full. Like it's the pump. And it's not like I'm suddenly walking around and I've like bulked up muscles. It's just more of like when I'm actually lifting weights, the pump, it just feels full and nice. And guess what, ladies? You might be like, oh, the pump. The pump also includes your booty. It's not just biceps. Which let's talk myths, safeties, and concern. Do you gain weight from creatine? The first week you take it, there's often water retention, which is, yes, technically a little weight gain. So if you're going to the beach tomorrow, it's probably not the best time to take creatine for the first time. But that water retention is what makes your muscles look fuller. And several meta-analyses say if there is weight gain, it is in muscle and not body fat. Let's just think logistically, people. You're not eating excessive calories from this. There's no way it's gonna suddenly gain extra fat. The only thing is potentially, because it's improved ability in ATP and muscle production, some of that calories that would maybe go to fat might go to muscles more. I'm not saying directly that, but it's more of like your muscles are more optimized to use your calories. Think of it that way. That's not exactly it, but that's a way to kind of maybe neglect the fear that women have that this is instantly going to make you bloated, bigger. Just think of like, no, it's more likely just fueling all the energy you take in towards your muscles. Logistically think it's not like an extra 3,000 calories you're consuming from the creatine. There's like no calories in it. Like there's no physical mechanism that it would make you gain fat. So did it make me bloated? No. Maybe the first day a little bit. But honestly, it was gone so fast, I don't even remember it. And my weight stayed pretty consistent throughout this challenge. Now let's go into day 22, and it's the last week of training before PMS hits, and energy is still great. I am working on a cycle syncing video, but this actually really aligned with it. Like I felt great energy. I was aligning my hardest workouts with the place in my menstrual cycle, and like I just felt very balanced in terms of like my women's hormones. I'm not saying hormone balancing. I just mean like mentally, physically. I was not in the extremes. And speaking of menstrual cycles and women, we got to talk another benefit of creatine specifically for women, bone health. Creatine may improve bone density, especially benefiting young and postmenopausal females. Combining creatine with resistance training or walking has demonstrated benefits with an effective dose around 8 grams a day. Benefit number 2, recovery. Creatine has an anti-catabolic and anti-inflammatory properties, which may speed up cellular recovery, allowing for more frequent training. It may help with concussions as well. We don't know for sure because that's the tough thing to study, because in essence, that means you have to find a whole bunch of people to take creatine and hope they get concussions. So that's why sometimes studies like that are a little tricky. The best thing we could probably do is like get a whole bunch of university athletes on creatine And unfortunately, yes, football players will indeed get concussions at some point. So, but it's just like, sometimes we're like, why do we have studies? And I'm guilty of saying that. And then you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, that's kind of morbid. Like, woo, Johnny got a concussion, test him up. But it's good for Johnny, but still, not the concussion, anyways. Speaking of bone health recovery, here is how my body's looking and my muscles approaching in day 22 to 25 of this challenge. And like, I feel I'm looking good, like not that much different, but definitely no like negative effects. Like I'm not suddenly the Michelin Man. But now for one of the things I'm also most intrigued about. Nothing makes you feel worse than jet lag. And one benefit is actually sleep deprivation. If you're doing shift work, jet lag, or cramming for a test, it seems to reduce the amount of sleep you need to perform at full capacity. It decreases oxidative stress in the mitochondria, clearing of the garbage we have when sleep deprived. Note, this is for acute, not chronic. So if you're someone who's like chronically sleep deprived, it's not gonna fix you. But if you suddenly just got a cramp for a test or hop on a plane back to Vancouver, it could be beneficial. So I'm headed back to Vancouver. It's early. I'm going to show you a little thing from Dr. Stacey Sims. She talked about actually during our menstrual cycle, we lose like 8% of, I'm going to put the exact stat here. I don't remember off the top of my head, like 8% blood volume, oxygen, something like that. And so it's really important to hydrate in that part of your cycle. So in this radial thing, because I can drink water, but also electrolytes. So I always carry these with me. Pop this in here. And honestly, that's my only thing I really care about when flying. Everything else, I used to be so strict, but I'm also like, yeah, your body will adapt. But the one thing, hydration. If I don't do this, I will have such bad headaches flying. So easy. And then you don't have to buy an overpriced Gatorade for like $8 in there. It's like they're $1.50 a piece. And put it in your. And why is Element my favorite electrolyte? Because of its 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. It tastes delicious. And honestly, this is when I usually put my creatine in. I picked a neutral flavoring creatine so I could put it in my yogurt and other little things. But honestly, mostly I just dumped it in with my electrolyte, which tastes delicious. And the benefits: improved energy, reduced muscle cramps, that fog. If you're someone who has athletic, you're sweating, and when you sweat, you lose electrolytes. So a lot of you watching are in the fitness wellness world. And so you should definitely consider looking into having an electrolyte supplement because yes, drinking water is important. Christina, go drink some water. But with that water, you got to make sure to add some electrolytes in it because when we sweat, we also sweat out things like salt. That's why your sweat tastes salty. And my favorite electrolyte is Element. I use it every day. I love it. It tastes delicious. My favorite is the citrus grapefruit and also the salted chocolate. When it's cold outside, it's so nice and warm. And of course, I'm not going to talk about it and not give you guys a code. If you go to drinklmnt.com/Keltie, you'll get one of their sample packs with your purchase. This is a great way to try all 8 flavors or share with a salty friend. Once again, that's drinklmnt.com/Keltie. First workout back and I was feeling great. Like I hate to admit like how good I felt after this workout. Normally the jet lag throws me off. My sleep was consistent. I just felt really good. But no, it didn't solve me from going out with my friends. I'm back in Vancouver and one of the underappreciated benefits of creatine I've learned is it helps with jet lag. And I am going to be the best test subject ever for this because why? Just flew back, Sweden to Vancouver. And this weekend is going to be a challenge because my best friend is flying to Vancouver for my other best friend's birthday. So what? It's girls' night. Like normally I'm going to be tired at like 9 p.m. But Saturday we're going out for sushi. Sunday we're going out dancing. And I have to film a YouTube video Monday. So, my cognitive abilities have to be pretty good. Normally I'm miserable. This has happened before. Like I'm at the club being like, oh yeah, at like 9. And then I can't function Monday. So if I'm able to function properly Monday after a girls' weekend being jet lagged, creatine, put it in the tap water.
is 1 a.m. I'm jet lagged. I'm getting home from one of my best friend's birthdays. And we're gonna see. I'm gonna be sleep deprived. I gotta be up at 5 a.m. So if I feel great tomorrow, creatine is the best thing ever. Doubtful.
Okay, first 2 days, I won't lie, I had no jet lag symptoms, and I didn't really do anything to get ready except the creatine. So there might be something about this sleep deprivation, but it didn't save me from a hangover. So it's a reminder, creatine's great, but it's not like gonna fix all your problems. I'm still susceptible to hangovers. But I'm also here at the office the day after going out, so now, yes, creatine taking is all over social media, but let's talk about some of the specific trends I'm seeing. Number one, using creatine as skincare. There might be some benefits, but how creatine is beneficial is really intercellular. Wow. Intercellular. There we go. And that's just hard to just get topically versus ingesting it. So there's just no proof. So it could work, but you're gambling versus something that's like super studied like a vitamin C or a retinol. Number two, array supplements, which stay tuned at the end of the video, I did test. As a little bonus, array, I see it everywhere. They have supermodels testing. It's everywhere, but I'm gonna do it as a little bonus at the end of this video. After 30 days, I'm loving Momentous. Let's talk about why I loved it specifically before we jump into me testing array. Is number one, it's a creatine monohydrate. This form has been studied the most, and most people get the least negative side effects from it, aka less likely to bloat. Two, third-party testing, which is something you wanna look for. I also always check for the NSF certification or informed choice. And number three, check if there's additives or other ingredients, as that is what could be the negative causes of it. And four, how much to take? According to Dr. Stacey Sims, you can take 3 to 5 grams a day seems to be beneficial for women, especially physically. Now, there's some cognitive events when you take up to 20 grams for a shorter period of time, but most of you are going to be fine with just that 3 to 5. After 30 days, what are the pros I found? 1, reduce jet lag. 2, improve energy for workouts. 3, the pump was better. 4, I don't know, but I'm hoping long-term this helps with my bone density. It's something I'm really working on improving. And I'm actually going to be doing a video eventually in several months or maybe a year about like my omega-3, cholesterol, and bone density, because those are 3 things that I just was not happy with it. So I'm doing a lot of things to help with it. And now creatine is one of those things I'm adding in, and 6 months, a year, I'm going to follow up and see if that improved my bone density. And unfortunately, that's something you can't really change in just 30 days. Now, the cons. 1, the cost. It's not free. 2, the availability of blood work. Ideally, you could get blood work, take it, and then see how it affects you cellularly. All you have to go off is like, I felt good or not. And that was really it. And here's who I think should be taking it. As a personal opinion, from what I've seen, not as a doctor. Number 1, first talk to your doctor, especially if you have specific health concerns. 2, women. It has so many benefits for us in terms of just having energy throughout our cycles, energy for workouts. We can actually get more benefits from creatine than men, according to people like Dr. Darren and Dr. Stacey Sims. If you're someone that wants to focus on bone density, sports performance, or muscle growth. Now, also there's some studies if you're someone dealing with anxiety, depression, and potentially the side effects from the medications you take from having any of those disorders. Once again, talk to your doctor before you consider it. Just if you have that, it's something to look into. Next, if you're vegan or vegetarian, most vegan diets, it's really hard to get foods that are naturally high in creatine, because yes, you can get creatine from food. So if you're someone who's a vegan or vegetarian who, you have to supplement vitamin B12, another thing that could really help you is supplementing creatine. So yes, you can get creatine from whole food sources like beef, pork, poultry, salmon, and other meats. But yeah, meat and groceries are expensive, so a lot of people might not be buying as much meat, or unfortunately, lesser quality meat. So this could be one of those times when supplementation is great. Like, yes, ideally you get everything from whole food sources. That's the dream. But guess what? We're busy. Time, groceries are expensive, so sometimes supplementing can actually be more cost efficient, beneficial, and just like filling gaps in your diet. And that is why, once again, it's a supplement. It supplements something. Now, my thoughts moving forward, as someone who's really focused on improving their bone density, something us women will naturally lose as we get older anyways, and it's just something I want to optimize, I will be continuing this. I will now kind of at 5 grams a day, and ideally I can even work up to 8 grams I might try. But after this time, I experienced no negative side effects from the Momentous or the Array. My fashion icon that lives rent-free in my head and is in my entire Pinterest board is Elsa Husk. I absolutely love her. She's just a dream. So you bet your ass I was geeking out that what happens in the middle of this challenge is I'm testing creatine. Elsa Husk and Jasmine Tosk suddenly Array creatine models. I was like, my fashion-y world and my fitness-y world were like combining forces. I'm like, whoa. Anyways, moral of the story, I just thought it was a little fun. You're probably getting bombarded with ads. Regardless, I know because you're watching this video and how algorithms work, you're about to be bombarded by creatine ads by this brand Array. I have mixed emotions about Array. I do like some of their products I've used. They have a little bit sometimes problematic marketing. I'm gonna do a full video on it, but they released a tone creatine and I'm gonna test it, see if you guys are worth it, because I know you're about to get ads. So we know momentous, we know, big fan, science-based. We'll go over the formula in a bit, but right now we're just here to taste the gummies. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I'm really team gummy supplements. Now, sometimes they're not as effective, but you know what is effective? The fact you take them. If it's gummy, if it tastes good, I'm gonna take it. Ooh, they're like kind of raspberry. Now, I do have a complaint. They're 5 grams, which is how much I'm taking a day, but I like to split it up. So I'm about to eat, I'm just kidding. Let's look into this. 4 gummies. Actually, I take it back. I thought 1 gummy was 5 grams. 4 gummies is 5 grams. So each gummy is 1.2 grams of creatine. I like this. That's actually nice. If you're someone who wants to pace it out, I've been just like slowly trying to pace out the powder. I'm going to do it right now. Taste test. It's not a Sour Patch Kid, but I will gladly be taking those. It's a little chalky. Thoughts pending. I just took day 3 of the Array. Don't mind me, I just got microneedling done. Creatine will not make you look like this. In terms of the ingredients in Array, monohydrate, which we love. It has ginger and some postbiotics. Ginger can be helped with the upset stomach, which I love, but just know probiotics sometimes cause bloating. It causes a little bloating, discomforting, because it's introducing something new to the gut. And then after a couple days, it helps because you built it. If you have a little bit of bloating with this, I would actually not think it's the creatine. I would think it is the postbiotic, but that's actually what will help with the bloating long term. Should I put this at the start of the video? Like, I'm gonna clickbait right now. I'm sorry. Look what happened to my face. Oh my God. I'm sorry I had to do it. It's so funny as microneedling. Final thoughts are Array. I love it. It tastes good. It seemed effective, but I will say there is not as much certification on Array. There's no NSF certification. What they do have is it says it's manufactured in the USA at a GMP and FDA certified manufacturing plant. The likelihood's okay. It's not overseas and unknown, but just realize there is a risk compared to something like Momentous. So for that reason, I will be leaning more towards Momentous, but this is fun. I enjoy taking it. I saw similar benefits personally. Just realize there's a bit more of a risk taking. Science-based enjoyment. A bit more enjoyment on Array, a bit boring on Momentous. Momentous very certified, Array not as certified. But one little thing to know about certifications, just because a product isn't certified doesn't mean it wouldn't pass it. I will give benefit to a lot of companies is it's a long process to get that NSF certification. It's a lot of money, it's a lot of years, so it takes time. So that's why it's so respectable when a brand has it. There is sometimes brands that would pass it, but they don't have it. But once again, that's a risk. We actually have some breaking news on this. I just finished editing this video and James Smith just released a video. Is this the supplement industry's biggest scam yet? I'm gonna link it below because I don't want to rip off his video, but he got some creatine gummies tested that claimed 1.2 grams of creatine per gummy. They came back significantly less. And the worst part about that is typically these gummies are more expensive than the powder. And this right here just proves my point with the supplement industry and testing. And this is the risk you take when you take a supplement that doesn't have multiple layers of certification. There could be things not labeled. There could be insignificant dosages. Once again, this isn't for Array. He did this for Overload. I'm not saying Array is doing this or not, but right now I don't know. I don't have that answer for you. I do like James Smith went and got it tested. So yeah, go check out his video if you want a bit more about that. And I'm loving creatine. I'm going to take it moving forward. It's just going to be in the rotation. Sometimes I'll get lazy and fall off it, but honestly, the benefits long-term definitely outweigh the 2 days you might have of a little bit of bloating. And then just make sure to look for something like a monohydrate. And honestly, approved for women. But once again, talk to a medical professional if you have anything specific. But for us in general, no need to fear. The only thing you have to fear is you might just have a bit more of a booty pump. You know that toned look? Yeah, oh my God, you might accidentally tone yourself because you can't accidentally get bulky as a woman. That's pretty tough. Pretty down turf. Because once again, this is not a steroid. You have creatine in your body. You got it. And it's just about optimizing that. But I'd love to hear down in the comments, any of you that have an experience with creatine. One of my favorite things about this channel is like, there's almost like a review section in the comments. You can see other people's opinions. Once again, this is me. This is what worked for me. Some people might say Array or Momentous didn't work for them, or they'll have a different brand they loved. They might be more of a Thorn girly, or they might have been like, wow, creatine did this and this. Oh, I should mention I never broke out and my hair looks fine. So definitely no skin issues like that. But moral of the story, have a great day. Go pet a dog. Love you guys. Bye.